Why is this? Why do we feel these aches and pains during winter?
Since the dawn of the Greeks, you know, if you look back through the research, people talk about weather and pain and weather and cold, and does it affect you? We think that maybe some of the reasons are when the weather is changing, there's a change in the barometric pressure. And so as the barometric pressure changes, your joints try to equalise the pressure in the joint. So people will tell you, a lot of my patients will say, there's a change coming on Saturday, right? Because there's the change, they're starting to feel the change in their joints, and yet the weather still looks sunny. So it could be barometric pressure. The other thing is that our joints are filled with fluid. And you know, a gel ice pack, when it's warm, moves very easily.
Yes.
But when it gets colder, your joints actually get a little bit stiffer. So it could be that. I think one of the main things is that in Australia we pretend it doesn't get cold. And so we assume what I call the posture of cold, which is this.
Clenched up.
Exactly. So what happens with my trusty skeleton?
Yes, how is she this morning?
Okay, she's very well. These are ribs, okay? And ribs actually float. And what happens is there's muscles attached to them. So these muscles tend to pull on the joints, particularly in the neck. And so if you spend your whole day doing this, protecting yourself against the cold, you get all this tension building up around your neck. And so a lot of people get tension just from holding their muscles tense all day. And so really what we've got to look at is releasing the tension and getting yourself warmed up.
All right, so give us some tips on how we go about doing that.
Okay, number one tip is warm up from the outside in, okay? Now, I see in the World Cup all the very swanky football players are all walking around with muffs these days, the man scarf.
Muffs,
all right?
okay.
So really, it's actually quite a good idea to actually keep your neck warm.
Yes.
And you'll find that that's actually very comfortable. The other thing is that at night, a lot of people wake up in the middle of the night with neck pain, and that's because they're spending the whole night scrunched up trying to get the doona around your neck. Now, one of my patients came up with this total passion-killing idea, but fabulous for your neck. She wears a ski muff to bed.
Of course she does.
And it actually just keeps you very comfortable. So terrible for the love, great for the neck.
I was about to say, have we heard what her husband thinks?
I don't know. Her husband wears a beanie to bed. He's bald. Anyway, that's lovely.
Yeah,
good.
okay.
Okay, but it's actually really good for your neck.
Yeah.
The other thing that you've got to do is actually release the tension. So a few times a day, just realise that your neck's actually up here. And so what you need to think about is rolling the shoulders down and back. And every once in a while, just release the tension, just doing sort of some gentle rolls is really good. And also doing some twists. So if you just put one hand across your knee, one hand into the chair, and then as you breathe, you just gently push yourself across. Very, very relieving for the neck, the joints in your back, doing some twists. And then the last thing is get warm from the inside out. So you've got to actually, your natural instinct is to sit still, eat, drink warm things to try and warm up. You actually have to fire up your circulation. So the more you move, the better you'll feel.
All right.
So it's really a matter of outside, inside and release.
And stop kidding ourselves. It does get cold in Australia.
It does get cold. Go the muff.
All right. Thank you for that, Anna Louise. Cam, think warm thoughts.
Love the muff and the beanie. Thank you very much for that.
Pulmonary hypertension disorder, and would like to create awareness about that particular problem. So she says that she
This could be a match.
It could be a match. So
Let's
Vivian,
hope so.
we will make sure that that happens and that you are able to get in contact with the people from the Gold Coast calendar, the calendar without a charity.
It'd be a shame for all that posing to go to waste, wouldn't it, Dickie?
Great show, George. Great show.
The
Well
strategically placed fruit
Food,
and
yeah.
food.
On a lighter
It was
note,
art, Alicia, it was art.
what about all the ink? What's with all the ink? The tattoos aren't just little tattoos, they're massive.
No, they're big commitment these days, aren't they?
Haven't you
We've got to
got
go.
Wow.